Football is a pretty old sport, but it hasn't stopped new technologies from being infused every now and then. Tech like VAR and goal line monitors have all helped match officials make the right calls. But there's this crazy new invention that is strictly for helping the players improve their performance. I'm talking about a device called Playmaker, which has now taken the world of professional football by storm. So what exactly does the Playmaker do? And why is everyone so hung up on it? Simply put, the Playmaker is a performance tracker which can be strapped around a player's boots to calculate both physical and technical metrics. These metrics include total distance covered, maximum speed, sprint distance, number of touches on the ball per foot, shot velocity, one-touch releases, jumping ability, and so much more. This new technology has proven to be so useful in player development that over 150 top academies in Europe now use it. More so, professional football clubs, which include the likes of Millwall Rangers, Fulham, and Copenhagen, also use Playmaker to assess player performances. But it doesn't even stop at football clubs, because as we speak, national teams have also adopted the technology too. Just ask the Argentinian FA. They've been using the Playmaker device since 2017. Apparently, this device is pretty easy to use too. All the player has to do is strap it to their boots, place the smart sensors in their pocket, sync the sensors with their iOS or Android app, finish their training session or football match, and get a detailed breakdown of their entire game or training. The device is so user-friendly that the data points generated can actually be interpreted by anyone, regardless of whether you're a sports analyst or just a fan. Now, as we all know, academies want to produce the best players possible, just so they can keep winning trophies down the line. Speaking of which, Manchester City, who are currently the champions of Europe, aren't joking with their future successes, as they've partnered with Playmaker to develop their own unique performance tracker. The Manchester City tracker is called City Play by Playmaker, and they'll be hoping it can help them produce the next Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, I know, you're wondering what the difference is between Playmaker and City Play. After all, they're both performance trackers, right? Well, yeah, they're pretty much the same, although you can bet that it is Manchester City's dream to rule European football for the long run, which is why they added some extra features to their own special tracker. To stay one step ahead of all the competition standing in their way, Manchester City's City Play comes with an extra 15 technical and physical performance metrics. It is also designed with lighter AI sensors that improves data collection and analysis. What's more, the straps on City Play are lighter than the regular Playmaker, so the boys at the academy don't feel uneasy while wearing them. Now, you would think the guys on the blue side of Manchester would stop here, but hey, if they'd like to achieve the same levels of success as their local rivals, then no, they'd have to do more. For this reason, the City Play device not only tracks and analyzes player performance, the built-in AI also offers expert advice on training and fitness. Oh, did I forget to mention that City Play also offers exclusive insights to Manchester City's training drills which players can execute even when they train alone. Let's just say the City Play by Playmaker is loaded with the revolutionary coaching philosophy Pep Guardiola has brought to the team in recent years. But as exciting as this all sounds, there are some old school soccer purists who don't believe the technology can make a great player. Take Lionel Messi for instance. Even though everyone on his team trains just as hard as he does, they still can't match him in terms of technique and genius, regardless of how well they track their performances. Also, midfielders like Xavi and Iniesta had awesome vision and quick thinking, which helped them deliver more assists than anyone else in their era. Now, I'm sure they didn't need a tracker to know how hard or soft they kicked the ball during their playing days. In these cases, a performance tracker really had nothing to do with their talents. It's either they had it or they didn't. The likes of Madonna, Pele, and Johan Cruyff didn't track their metrics with an app either, yet they were the best in the world during their respective eras. Nonetheless, professional coaches of the modern era have argued that the best way to improve a player's performance on the pitch is by collecting data from previous performances, spotting their weaknesses, and improving on it. For decades, trainers and coaches have been trying to figure out ways to effectively collect player performance data, both on the amateur and professional level. In their opinion, accurate data collection helps them guide their future training sessions while telling them the areas where their players need improvement. For the player, data collection also has some advantages, as it lets them understand their game and points out areas where they are lacking. Now, the tricky question for the coaches is, do they really need to work on all the data provided by Playmaker? If after collecting a series of player performance metrics, should the weaknesses be ignored and should more priority be given to their developing strengths? Take a player like Didier Drogba for instance. He can't run as fast or dribble as well as Messi, but he packs a lot more power in his shots and can jump higher than the Argentine. So, if the Playmaker app keeps pointing out the big Ivorian's lack of speed, should he lose sleep over it, knowing fully well that speed and dribbles aren't essential to his style of play? This is the sort of criticism the old-fashioned folks have for the Playmaker device. It produces too much data, up to the point it can cause a player to forget about developing their strengths and instead focus on their weaknesses. Would the game of football be better with the app, or should things remain as they were with the players developing their talents naturally and intuitively without a whole bunch of numbers to deal with? This argument can go on forever, but as it stands, the guys in charge of developing their players both in the small and big clubs aren't willing to take any chances, not when there are too many trophies out there to win. Football teams are going all the way with the Playmaker app, and the more popular it gets, the more trainers are put under pressure to use it during training. And why not? It's a tool that has its fair share of advantages, and if it's at your disposal, then giving it a try won't be a bad idea, would it? After all, it's not like the Playmaker device is as big as a cell phone that's hard for players to carry in their pockets during training and matches. It's actually very portable and can be strapped onto a soccer boot. The player wearing it won't even notice it's there. But let's not get carried away. The Playmaker is just a performance tracker, not some magic wand that'll turn you into a goal-scoring beast like Cristiano Ronaldo. This means if you're an amateur footballer, you still have to work your ass off and improve on your technique if you hope to win a Ballon d'Or one day. Nonetheless, the Playmaker is still a good tool to have, solely for the purpose of knowing your game and improving on it. I mean, how else are you going to improve on a specific area of your game when you don't even know it needs to be improved? To add to that, training without keeping any data would make it difficult for trainers and players to determine if their exercises are producing the right results. Now, who wants to keep on going around in circles and achieving nothing? With a device like Playmaker, maybe Manchester United can finally understand the Harry Maguire problem and fix it in training. Who knows? It might have even helped Chelsea figure out why Fernando Torres lost his goal-scoring form when he joined them. Because as long as there's information about what the problem is, then you would agree that the problem is halfway solved, right? Now let's move away from the pros and talk about the guys who just want their game to be on the same level as the likes of Kylian Mbappe. If you fall under this category, then Playmaker is for you too. How else would you know if you can sprint as fast as the Frenchman if you can't measure it? With the kind of insights Playmaker offers, you can weigh your performances against the best players in the world. Now imagine if you found out that your ball control is better than Messi's. Wouldn't you brag all day to your friends about it? I'm sure you would. For now though, we'll just have to wait and see how far the Playmaker device can go in terms of improving player performance. Till then, make sure you hit the comments section and let us know what you think about the Playmaker so far. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.